So this is the Kia EV9 and it's Kia's flagship vehicle. I also wanted to hate it. I'm George and welcome to EV Powered. Now, originally, I'm from Essex in case you couldn't tell, so it should be a surprise that I don't really like SUVs. I find them a bit big, quite uninspiring, a bit silly, and, you know, when they weigh 3 tonnes like the EV9, just a bit unnecessary. Yet over the last week with this car, my God, have I been proven wrong in my prejudices. So, the Kia EV9 is completely size inappropriate for UK roads. It's over 5 metres long, which is more than the first ever swimming certificate I got at school. It's 2 metres wide, and it's also 1.7 metres tall. And that's taller than me. The Kia EV9's design. Well, it uses Kia's Opposites United philosophy that it also used on its EV3, which is essentially a small, shrunken down version of the 9. We have these, I don't really know how to describe them, but these really quite cool looking lights here, and this chunky black bodywork and the cladding. It provides a nice sense of contrast, especially with this silvery green paintwork. And the EV9 also has these door handles which eject as you come near it, and unlike the EV6, which has these kind of Tesla things that you have to poke and then they come out, these come out automatically, and there you go. Easy. So, I have a massive head like a bison. However, I can fit that in the EV9's 19-inch rim. And the 19-inch rim is also covered with an aero guard to improve aerodynamic efficiency. Just to show you how big this is, if I stand up, the top of the wheel comes to my thigh. I could also basically fit my entire hand in there. It's thick. Inside, the Kia EV9 is absolutely everything you would expect from a £65,000 all-electric SUV. Now, even though this is the entry-level air spec car, there's absolutely no shortage of equipment. There's this rather nice fabric insert on the dashboard, which is very Polestar-esque, and this grey trim, which I don't really know about this because I see what Kia's tried to do. After all, piano black is a bit of a pain in the arse and it's a bit fingerprinty, but this, it looks a bit bakelite-y, like something you'd find in your nan's kitchen. Up front, there's a 12.3-inch infotainment display which has all the car's basic functions and Apple CarPlay. There's also a 12.3-inch driver display and a 5.3-inch small panel, a small touch screen that helps control the car's HVAC systems. But if you touch that when you're driving, you'll crash and die, so don't do that. Down here we have 2 USB-C ports. Now, as much as I complained about this small panel here, what you can do is press this X at the top and it will turn the screen into an HVAC system. But you can also adjust that with actual physical buttons. And these are all nice and tactile inside, and you can use them if you're a bit greasy. As you would expect from a 3-ton SUV with 3 rows of seats, the space is plentiful. And also, what I quite like, there's also a function panel up here which controls the temperature in the back, USB-C ports here, and these really rather lovely and tactile air vents that are placed in the roof for your rear 3 occupants. And as for the 3rd row of seats, well, I will show you. If you press this button here on the top of either far seat, it will come forward and you get in the back. As per the law of car journalism, I must again talk about my height. As a reminder, again, I'm 5'10", and really, there's not much space here, and I don't think that this row of back seats is much use unless you're a child or a very little person. I mean, I am sort of trapped. I can't move my legs, and I sort of feel like one of those monkeys in a zoo that's trapped. It's not very comfortable. Can I come out now? So, boot space. Well, for a 3-ton SUV with 3 rows of seats, well, it's going to be pretty cavernous, isn't it? So, with the extremely comfortable rear seats up, the 3rd row that we saw earlier, there's 333 litres. But if I press these 2 buttons here, using the magic of electricity, they'll fold down and give you 2,318 litres of space. Unsurprisingly, there's plenty of space up front as well. If you slide your hand under here, under the K and the backwards Russian end, so the bilingual Kia badge, there is a 90-litre frunk, which contains, well, doesn't just contain, it holds everything you need for lunch. And that brings us on to this. One of the things that happens with EVs is when you're charging, and there are plenty of decent places to charge, is that you are faced with places that aren't great to eat. You can either spend £20 and go to KFC and risk growing breasts or food poisoning or something like that, or you could take a grill or an electric barbecue or something, take that with you, use your car's vehicle to load port, which in this case is a 3-pin in the back here with a maximum capacity of 250 volts, and cook yourself, well, a reasonably healthy lunch. Now, you're also probably wondering, what is vehicle to load? Well, vehicle to load, it uses up to 80% of the car's battery, or the 80% of the car's power, to power an external source. So, for example, that could be a grill, that could be if you're going camping with the family or something, like a TV, or a fridge, or, well, basically anything that you can plug in. You can basically use it to eliminate the need for a big old dirty generator. Right. So, as for driving impressions, well, it's everything you'd expect from a 3-ton, 200 brake horsepower SUV. It's not going to be troubling the likes of an Ioniq 5N or something. But for the most part, it is, and we've just been held up by some ducks. We're not getting through there, unfortunately. But yes, it is relatively easy to drive, and I do like the gear selector down here that's reminiscent of old American SUVs of the 80s and 90s. However, what I did notice the other day when I was on a run is that if you don't turn off the lane assist, it will try and kill you. So what will happen is you'll quickly lose your temper and then lose control of the car. But the good thing is it's pretty easy to turn off, because you hold it down for about 3 seconds, 4 seconds, and then you're back in control of the vehicle. There's some seagulls there as well now, they're holding us up too. Look. It's like Just Stop Oil, but cute. Move! So, now that we're no longer being held up by ducks and their foul play, what's the EV9 like to drive? Well, as long as you turn the driver assists off and the lane assist and all that, it is incredibly relaxing. I mean, like I said, when I came into driving this and when it turned up at my house, I was just quite ambivalent about the whole thing, but having done a couple of long drives, it's utterly brilliant. And if I could honestly, if it was a bit smaller, I definitely think I could fit it into my life as a daily driver. And well, that's what the Kia EV9 is about later this year. So, do I like the Kia EV9? Well, as a matter of fact, yeah, I kind of love it. Like I said, I wasn't too interested when it arrived this week, and again, it's not perfect. This system here isn't great, it's too big, but these floors, they give it an inherent lovable quality that the EV6 just doesn't have. I love how comfortable it is. I really love these sort of Minecraft-esque looks as well, but don't go thinking that this is a silly or a novelty vehicle at all, because as I said to you earlier, this is pulling higher than the efficiency figures that Kia quoted. 3.3 I've gotten, and Kia quotes 3.1. And again, like I said, I got it up to 4.6 miles per kilowatt hour, which is almost class leading, Tesla levels of class leading. So yeah, would I have one? No, but I would if it was a little bit smaller. Cue the EV9.